So today we are talking all about how to glow up. And I don't know about you, but I want to achieve my best and highest self this year. And we're gonna get down and into so many different details. So when it comes to glowing up, I mean, obviously we wanna feel our best. We wanna look our best. We just want to feel good from the inside out, right? But there's a process, okay? It takes time. It takes time and it doesn't happen overnight. So we need to be in it for the process, for the journey, because it's not just a one-day thing. It is going to take time and you need to be patient. But if you hang in there, I promise the glow up, the transformation is right around the corner. Okay, so let's get into it. So I just want you to close your eyes and imagine, what does the best version of me look like? What do I do in the mornings? What do I do during the day? What does my work look like? What do I have for breakfast? What am I eating for lunch? How does my evening routine look like? Who am I with? What are we doing together? So when you start to imagine all these different things, you can finally start to realize, like, hey, the best version of me, okay, maybe it does seem a little out of reach, but you can start getting inspiration from that and know that anything is possible. Okay, so I just want to let you know that anything that you set your mind to is possible. Again, you just need to be patient. So there's about 5 different areas that we can glow up. So firstly is beauty. Second, it's like our clothes and our style, how we dress. Third is fitness, which is my passion. 4 is how we eat. 5 is our mindset. And even though fitness is my favorite, I want to say that probably the mindset, which is at the very end of this video, is the most important. So be sure you don't miss that. Okay, so glowing up with our beauty. So that could be our hair, our skin, it could be our teeth. So let's start with hair first. So to glow up with your hair, maybe you've been bleaching it and dyeing it and doing all these crazy things with your hair. I know I have gone through some crazy bleaching processes. Some horrible things have happened where half my hair just fell off during COVID actually, and I went to this lady to get my hair done, and I was desperate. I needed to get my hair done. She was like a reputable place. It was a business, but I had drove like 3 hours to go visit her because my location in my area, everything was shut off. So all the businesses were shut down. So like, okay, I'm desperate. I need to get my hair done. So I drove 3 hours to get my hair done at this girl's salon. And she had her assistant work with me most of the time. They ended up leaving the bleach on my head for about 3 hours. And my hair's already my natural's already pretty light. So it ended up frying my hair. Half my hair ended up falling off, like in a section in the back. I don't know if you can see, but I think it's pretty much all one length now. But the back of my hair, it ended there in different sections. Like, it was horrible. It was so bad. So now I don't get it bleached anymore. I only get highlights. I'm sure there are better hairstylists out there, but for me, I want healthy hair. I was always doing extensions, but for me, my vision, my goal is to have the healthiest hair possible. Not to say that I won't maybe do hair extensions in the future, because I love it, but for me, I want healthy hair. I want to glow up in 2024, and that is my goal. And then in terms of teeth, making sure you're going for regular cleanings. Like, even if I go to a party or I'm at an event, I will never not brush my teeth. Like, it could be 4 o'clock in the morning by the time I'm going to bed, and that rarely ever happens, but just using it as an example, I will always brush my teeth. Doesn't matter the time, doesn't matter the day, because you don't want all that bacteria in your mouth, and then you're swallowing it, and then, you know, you're fasting for 10, 12 hours, and all the bacteria in your mouth, you just want it gone. So I really truly stress making sure you get your teeth cleaned. Get your blood work done, get checkups from the doctor, make sure you are in good health. That kind of goes with another one, but we'll just add it in here. Making sure that you're getting all that done is so, so important for the glow up that really no one talks about. But getting your blood work checked is important, getting your teeth done, getting your pap test done, that needs to happen. So if you haven't, make sure that is on your priority list. Once you've done the glow up on your hair, you've done the glow up on your teeth, now it's time for beauty. So before, I used to like cake on the makeup, and that's fine. I think beauty and makeup is so, so beautiful. But for me right now, I just want clean, glowy, beautiful skin, okay? I used to have really bad acne too. I'm not perfect. My skin has definitely come a long way though, particularly like around the chin and the jaw and like a little bit in my cheeks and forehead sometimes, but it was usually hormonal. And just with all of my research that I've been doing, I've been in all the supplements and changing my routines, what I'm eating, my habits, going for regular saunas, it has really truly helped my skin like immensely. And I can show you guys photos. I can do a whole video on skincare if you guys want, but taking care of your skin, guys, is so important. Okay, and for me, I get triggered. I know what my trigger foods are, but it is sugar and dairy. I can handle some, but for me, and after talking to my naturopath, sugar and dairy are two things that I have to watch out for. I feel more bloated, my skin starts to break out. I can handle it sometimes, like once in a blue moon, but I really, really try to avoid these as best as possible because I find that it just stresses my skin out and I start to purge and have acne. But that is just me. Maybe it's different for you, but start to figure out what are your triggers. What are some things that you're realizing about your body, okay? So the more we know about ourselves, the better we can glow up in the future. Get a good skincare routine. It doesn't have to be super complicated. Like some girls, kudos to you, but they have like a 15-step routine. I just don't have the time or the energy to do that. And I find for me, sometimes the more I add, the more triggered my skin gets and the more of like a reaction I get because I'm not super knowledgeable with all the different acids and chemicals and all the active ingredients and blending them, and there's a certain order to it. So unless you're prescribed this from, you know, a professional, I wouldn't just start layering a bunch of things on the skin. So I always start out with a cleanser. Sometimes I'll double cleanse. My skin is nice and clean, but I do have kind of dry combination skin. So I have to replenish it then with hyaluronic acid. Sometimes I'll do a vitamin C, and then I will do, like I have like an acne gel, I think it's from SkinCeuticals, Retexturizing Activator. I think that's what it's called. So use that, and then I will use a very hydrating moisturizer. So my skincare is not extensive. I use about 4 or 5 different products. Maybe it's extensive to you, but I don't find it extensive compared to like what I see online. And this has worked for me so far. Obviously, there's definitely way more that I can do. And I want to be able to slowly add in a few more things like retinol or retin-A. I do have that in my cupboard, but it's working for me right now. And if something's working for you, then you don't need to just start adding in a bunch of stuff. That is just what I think. But do what works best for you. So once you have a good outline for how you want your beauty to look, how you want your skin to look, your hair, your teeth, your nails. I love, love, love getting my nails done. I just find it so therapeutic, and when I'm doing stuff, I love looking at them. It kind of is just for me, like I always just go with like a French tip or just like a creamy light color. I just find it just so pretty and aesthetic, and it just matches with everything. So this is like pink chrome and I'm obsessed. I saw a photo with Hailey Bieber and I'm like, oh, this is so cute. I need to get it. Okay, the next one is clothes and style. This is one that I I've definitely improved so much in 2023 with my clothes and my style, my outfits, but I really want to improve that even more for 2024. So keeping up with fashion trends, Delaney's Child on Instagram and YouTube is one that I love. I love her style, and she's always showing all these different ways you can update your look. And there's so many other like fashion bloggers you can look to, but I think having like staples is so important. So having like your staple jeans, maybe in 1 or 2 colors, having your staple trousers in 1 or 2 colors, like very neutral, like a black and a beige. For jeans, like a black and a blue. Just something so, it doesn't have to be complicated, but just some options. So just a staple pant, a staple jean, some staple t-shirts, like in just neutral colors, and then some blazers, like I have a black and a beige. It just doesn't have to be complicated, just staple and things that you will be able to wear for a long term. So I know we see different fashions online and different looks, and we're like, oh my gosh, I need this. It looks so beautiful. And I'm sure it does, but then the fashion will change in 2 months, and then you're posting it on Depop, or you're posting it somewhere online or on Poshmark because the fashion is not relevant anymore. So I think once you have your staples, then you can move on to the nice fashionable looks or whatever in fashion, but focus on your staples first and then work up. That's at least what I've been doing. And I find it's so much easier than looking all around trying to find something or looking for last minute outfits for an event. When you have your staples, it's so much more easy. And having a good leather pant, because you can dress it up, dress it down. It's very important. Okay, next is fitness. So obviously, me being a personal trainer, fitness has been a part of my life for such a long time. Like even in high school, I took a weightlifting class. I was the only girl. It was me and one other girl, but I felt like so out of my comfort zone. You know, and I thought like, oh, weightlifting, that's for men, like it's such a manly thing. But then I'm like, wait a minute, like I'm actually really enjoying this. I'm enjoying the way my muscles are feeling on these different machines. I feel so good after. So I got a membership at YMCA with a couple of my girlfriends. We would go after school and get our moms to drive us over. And it was so much fun, and such like it's fun just going with your friends too, and there's no stress, just it's all about feeling your best. But then after that, I got a membership at Good Life for the summer when I was about 17, 18. Then I went away to college, university, and I ended up gaining a bunch of weight. All those healthy habits and being in sports and fitness, it all just went down the drain. Because I was always very active in high school, always very active in elementary school, always tried to eat healthy, but I don't know, something about me being on my own and having the decision to cook for myself and do things, I just was honestly very overwhelmed. And you know, you don't have a lot of money, so you're going through drive-thrus and just doing whatever you can. You're a college student. And I didn't have many mentors to look up to. I just thought, oh, you're in university. You have to drink every night. You have to go to all the parties. You have to go to all the events. You need to order pizza and go out for burgers with your friends. Like, I just thought that's what you had to do. And my body, like, I'm not a super skinny body type. Like, if I start eating a lot, I will gain weight. So the pounds just kept on packing on. I felt my confidence super low. I didn't know where to go, who to turn to. My grades suffered. I was just not motivated to do anything. And like, you know, fruit is healthy, you know, salads are healthy. I just wasn't motivated to do that. I wasn't motivated to eat healthy at all. And I also wasn't really motivated to work out. I'm like, I already feel like crap. like going to the gym, I'm gonna feel like more like crap. I'm gonna feel big because now I have to wear tight clothes. It just was a very low time for me. And I think this, I can do a whole other video on this as well, but I think the biggest thing for me is getting outside of that environment really helped me to finally start working on my fitness. So getting away from the party friends, getting away from, even though they're nice and good people, I just had to fully focus on myself. And I know that's hard to do. And a lot of times when you focus on yourself, you focus on your fitness, it can be very lonely. And it doesn't have to be like that forever, but if you want to really learn more about yourself, you kind of have to be alone. Because if you're always, like I was always around other people all the time, so I was kind of feeding my confidence off of that. Like I had tons of friends and I had all these people around me. But when you really look inwards, and you have to get confidence from yourself. And it's pretty deep for this glow up video, but I'm just trying to help at least one person on their fitness journey, that you got to go through the grind. You got to go through the early morning workouts, the late night workouts, those moments where you just want to stay in and, you know, go to the couch and watch movies. You have to push yourself, because in those moments where you push yourself, that is when you start to transform. We don't just feel good, or we don't just go to the gym when we feel good. We don't just eat healthy when we feel good. It has to truly be a part of our new lifestyle, the way we're living now. And it's not to say we can't have days or nights where we just watch Netflix all night, but once our goals are finished or accomplished, once we have gone to the gym for the day, we checked off all of our boxes, then you can do that. But if we're not checking off our boxes and focusing on ourselves, then eventually we start to, you know, we feel depressed, we're unmotivated, we start to like draw inwards, we start to, it's just not a good time. It's just not a good time. So I have to do a slight intermission. Okay, we're back in action. My doggy. Okay, for fitness, we want to make sure that we are checking our boxes every day. So if you have a step goal, if you have a cardio goal, a workout goal, a stretch goal, we want to make sure we're checking those boxes daily, weekly, monthly, and getting it done. Guys, this is the only way to get progress. Is not thinking about it, dreaming about it. It is working for it. Making sure that, yeah, we're hitting our cardio goal, we're hitting our step goal. How many of us just sit down all day? Like if you're working from home, maybe you can get like one of those treadmill walking stations so you can walk and work at the same time. Making sure that we're always moving and staying active. This is so important, and something that I feel so strongly and passionate on. So if you guys want a separate discussion just about fitness, different workout splits you guys can do, if you're a beginner, if you're more advanced, then let me know in the comments, because I can definitely do that. Lastly, one more thing to talk about for fitness is make sure it's sustainable, guys. If you have some goal, like I know 75 hard is super popular, but I mean, is that really sustainable? Like maybe for you, you're already working out like 5-6 days a week, or even 4 days a week. You're already doing lots of cardio and you just want to push yourself. If you're already training very frequently, then I would say, okay, that's maybe something that you can push yourselves to. But if you are not working out at all right now, and then suddenly you're gonna do 2 workouts a day, 7 days a week, like, it is possible, but I am gonna say it's very likely that you're not gonna finish more than a month doing that, if that, maybe even not even 2 weeks. So be realistic and sustainable with your goals. Because if you pick like, oh, I'm gonna drop 50 pounds next month, is that realistic? No. Is that sustainable? Absolutely not. So make sure even the foods you're eating, if you decide to do keto, paleo, if you're doing all these different diet trends just to lose weight, you have to make sure that it's something that you can actually stick to for the long haul. Like, ask yourself, do I actually picture myself doing this 6 months from now? If the answer is no, then this is probably not a good fitness method for you. But if you're like, hey, you know, I can actually see myself doing this in 6 months, then run full tilt and go for it, because that is something that is aligned with who you are and something that you can probably stick to and achieve. Because if we're not achieving our goals, so this is where confidence comes from, right? Is sticking to the goals and the expectations that we set for ourselves. So that is how confidence gets built. But if you notice that you don't have confidence, it's probably because, I'm just being honest, out of love, you're probably not sticking to your goals, okay? But it's probably not your fault. You're probably just picking goals that are way too unrealistic. So first, pick something that's actually realistic for you and work towards it. Put in the action, hire a coach if you have to, go full in on it, okay? This is what I did in my past too, and trust me, it works, okay? If you have the guidance, get the guidance, okay? Do whatever you have to do. I worked like 3 jobs in order to pay for my coach because I wanted it so bad. I said no to the parties, no to the late nights, no to eating out at restaurants. Like, you gotta do what you gotta do. Short-term sacrifice leads to, or short-term pain leads to long-term gain. So remember that. Okay, enough of that fitness rant. We are on to number 4, which is eat clean. So I guess this kind of ties into the fitness aspect, but what we put into our bodies, guys, literally affects every area of our life. If you notice that you're getting tired around 3 p.m. every day or midday, it's probably because you didn't eat enough protein and you had a huge blood sugar spike in the morning, which dropped all of your blood sugar in the afternoon, and now you're very tired, you're sleepy, you can't concentrate. So what we put into our bodies will affect our entire day. It affects our sleep, it affects our energy, it literally affects every area of our lives. So we want to make sure that we're eating the colors of the rainbow, making sure we're getting good protein, getting the right type of carbohydrates, and following the 80-20, what happens going off? I'm making food right now. Doing the 80-20 principle, where we're not depriving ourselves and saying no all the time. You can allow yourself a slice of cake sometimes or a cookie, but just know that 80% of the time it should be whole foods. The other 20%, we're adding in some of our fun foods, okay? So I don't like to think of it as this is a good food, this is a bad food. There are all foods that are good for you, like nutritionally, right? It's getting you vitamin A, like carrots, it's giving you vitamin D, it is giving you your iron. Like, this is all coming from our diet and what we eat. That is what I mean by nutritional foods, good foods, okay? Whereas if you know, eat a cookie, there's not much nutritional value there. Like, yes, there's carbohydrates in there, but is it giving you your nutrition? Is it giving you fiber? Is it giving you protein? Is it giving you all of these amazing vitamins? Probably not. But maybe you can make your own cookie, your own breakfast cookie that has lots of nutrition in it. Like, maybe it's a breakfast cookie that has carrots and dates and pecans, and you make your own. So that's what I'm trying to do a lot this year as well, is making my own food. So I do practice the 80-20 principle, but a lot of times, you know, there's Uber Eats and all these ordering apps, and I live such a crazy busy lifestyle that I'm being honest with myself. I haven't, like, I do cook, but I need to incorporate cooking more. Like, instead of, if it's late at night, 9:30, we get home from a long day, having a meal already ready. Like, I don't want to cook at 10 o'clock at night. I am so exhausted at that time. But maybe I'm cooking something the night before or the day before when I have that extra time, and I leave it and I meal prep it for when I have those long days. So just thinking ahead of time and cooking my own food, that is something that is on my goals for this year, is cooking my own food. And there will be days where Uber Eats is going to happen. It's going to be still a healthy option, but there's going to be days where that's going to happen. There's going to be days where I still go out to eat at restaurants because I'm such a foodie at heart. I love my food. But being proactive and making sure that I'm planned, prepared, and meeting my macro goals is something that is so important, and what I'm going to be working on for my glow up in 2024. And lastly, this one, guys, is so important, and that is our mindset. Okay, so when it comes to our mindset, it can be so easy to get discouraged. It can be so easy to give ourselves excuses to not go to the gym, to not follow our diet, to not work out, to not go to bed on time, to not, like, we can give ourselves a million excuses, and a lot of them are probably very accurate and are probably very true. I'm on my lip. But the more we give ourselves excuses, the further away we get to our goals. So we want to make sure that we're limiting excuses, and it's not all about being perfect. There will be that day where, you know, you're absolutely exhausted and you can't get to the gym, so you make up for it the next day, and those days will happen. But like 80 to 90% of the time, we should be really on top of it, on top of making sure we get to the gym, making sure that we're sticking to our nutrition, getting on top of all of our other health and body goals and all those other things to really achieve our best self. So in order to do that, we have to make sure our mind is clear on our goals. We're waking up every day, we're going over them so that we can really achieve our best self. And a lot of times, like, this is why I was saying in the beginning of the video, focusing on ourselves and kind of ignoring the outside world, or saying no to things, saying no to different that's why saying no to things in order to reach your goals is perfectly okay. Like saying no to a gathering, or saying no to, that's why saying no to certain things is okay. Saying no at a family gathering and saying no to the piece of cake is perfectly fine. Like, there's this quote that I like, and progress for some people, I may like mess this up, but progress for some people is eating the cake, because mentally, you know, you've said no for so long, so you want to say yes, and that's kind of this thing you're wrestling with yourself about, and it's liberating for you to eat that cake and say, you know what, that's fine, I need balance in my life, and that's perfectly okay. So that's progress to some people. But progress for another person might look at it as, you know, if I say no now, maybe I'm going to get another reward later on, and that's going to be, I'm going to hit a new low weigh-in on Sunday when I send my check-ins to my coach. So you have to think of it two ways. Progress can be saying yes, but it can also say no. So know in your gut what that answer is, and try not to second guess that. And with that, knowing yourself and knowing what you truly want comes with shouting all the other noise out. What your family says, what your friends say. No one else knows what's best for you. Only you have that answer. Okay, you and God know that answer. So you have to kind of just shout all that other noise out from what everyone else's opinions are, what their beliefs are, and do what in your gut you know is best for your body, for your health, for your future. And that is so important. So when it comes to the music we listen to, movies we watch, just making sure that it's all positive, because it's so easy if we're listening to negativity all the time from our friends, our family, the news, social media, then it will be so much harder for you to reach your goals if you're constantly in this negative state of mind. So making sure that you are listening to audiobooks, maybe in the car, podcasts, being around positive people, people who uplift you, who aren't gossiping and are rude and negative and hateful all the time. Because even though they can be nice people, being around that all the time is very draining, okay? No one wants to be around someone that just gossips, because if they're gossiping to you about someone, they're also going to be gossiping about you to someone else, okay? So that's a no bueno. We don't want that. And that is not a true friend. So just getting rid of all of that outside clutter will really help you have a clear head, a clear mind, a clear heart to go after your goals and to have a glow up in 2024. So without further ado, please let me know, guys, what are your goals in 2024 are? Is it fitness related? Is it beauty? It could be something as simple as making your bed every day in 2024. I don't care what your goal is. Let me know in the comments. I absolutely love to hear it. If you need help, I'm always here as well. I'm always available. You guys can send me a message, add me on Instagram. If you'd like to work with me as well, you can fill out an application on my website. I'm not always accepting applications, so if you're watching this, it may be down, but you can try. I don't know when you'll be watching this video, but you can try and sending an application and booking a call with me. If it is still live, then you are good to go. Let me know what you guys would like to see in the next video, and ciao.